Hello. In part 3 of this mini-series, I want to explore something new to some of you and something that sounds very science fiction-y, but in fact is very true. We are getting closer and closer to the revelation that time travel is possible. We're getting close to warp speed or speed of light travel, which means as soon as we cross that threshold, it means that traveling into the future is possible. I don't know about backwards. I think backwards is not possible. And there's a very good reason why, and it's scientific and it's way above my head. But you can only time travel one direction, I think. Here is the problem with time travel and remote neural monitoring existing at the same time. We have a person here in the present who is alive and is going to live to be this old. If we can time travel to this point and find out that this person is a threat to the government, then that means, because here they're famous, you see, if you can identify that person as a threat at that point, you then just travel back to the present and you target that person and you create a victim on purpose with intent. So to those people who recognize time travel as a fact, because it's going to be announced in either 2027 or 2028. I forget which one. But when it is announced, it's going to wreak havoc because R&M might still be around. The government needs to stop predicting the future and trying to manufacture things in such a way that it maintains control. I think you've got enough control. You are not allowed to control somebody's body. Come on. That's just a little sick. You should not be doing that. It's an invasion of privacy. Invading another person's body. It's body rape. And it's genocide because it's filling people up with cancer-causing waves and it's destroying organs on the inside. That's what it's doing. It's destroying and making brittle bone, and it's deteriorating tissue. The program does all these things. So it is murder. And you know what happens when you murder someone in the eyes of God. You go downstairs and you don't come up from the basement ever again. And there is a place called hell. God made it. He made it for one of his angels, Gabriel. He created a real place where the devil really exists. How do we know that? All you got to do is go to the deepest borehole that there is known to man, and there's a recording of it. It's 19 seconds of a cassette recording when they dropped a microphone down into the depths of the borehole and they got a sound back. And it sounded like people screaming and in pain and agony. So you know where hell is? Right in the bubbly center of the earth, 50 miles beneath the surface, in a layer of rock, are all of the devil's people. It's right here. And you know what? Some of it bubbles to the top in the form of volcanic eruption. And it's full of nutrients and minerals, and that's what makes topsoil. So you see, reincarnation and the devil and time travel and R&M and V2K and 9/11 being a conspiracy and us never being to the moon are all real. They're all real. I'm going to love the day when conspiracy theorists are no longer called conspiracy theorists, but they're called realists. Because they believe in real parts of things that don't make sense in the narrative. You see, when there's a narrative and there's a little blip in it that's not right, that's where conspiracy theories come from. Because the blip doesn't make any sense. The blip is inconsistent and is evident that the narrative is not correct. It's proof that there's something else going on. So this is the truth for every conspiracy theory that exists. What happens, though, is that a majority opinion is believed, and then those people all cackle and they go, ha 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 ha, you conspiracy theorists, you believe, you're nuts. No, they're realists, and they've found very verifiable holes in a narrative that makes the narrative not the truth. So, the next time that you hear something new in the world, take a moment to put your thinking cap on, because we don't know all of the things that there is to know about the world. The world's a big place. There's no possible way that we can know it all. When you don't know it all, you listen and you absorb information. And in my experience being a Thai, I took the knowledge of not having all the answers and I became a sponge and I soaked up information. I discarded some that didn't make some sense, and I held on to some things that were pretty proof evident. And one day it dawned on me that, yes, this is real. As far as 9/11 goes, I'm sorry. I'm going to do this diagram one more time because people need to see it. Okay? Here's the Twin Tower. Here's an airplane. Which one is stronger, a building or an airplane flapping in the air? You know how when you go through turbulence and the wings go like this and you think, oh my God, it's going to fall off, and it doesn't, but it looks like it's going to? Yeah. Which one's stronger? A big building made of steel girders or a flimsy airplane? Why is this important, you're probably asking. Or you're saying, this guy's just nuts. Well, both might be true, but that's only because you don't know the truth. The building is stronger by far. Because the building is stronger, that means that when a flimsy little airplane comes near it and it crashes into it, that the airplane will not penetrate into a building. It means that there will be debris that falls down to the sidewalk. But on 9/11, that didn't happen. In fact, there was no debris that ever fell. And there's video of people walking right next to the building where the plane is 70, 80 stories up in the sky. Plane. Let's call it a hologram, okay? Let's be real. Where the hologram was and smoke billowing out of the building. There's no debris that ever fell on the ground. So what does that tell you? Well, think about it. It means that there was no plane. It's that simple. When you find a hole like that in a story, you can't deny it. You also can't deny another truth. And I'm going to leave with this. Let's be realistic about science. There is a melting point of steel, and it does not change. It is a consistent temperature. Let's say the melting point of steel is this amount of heat. This is the Twin Tower Inferno, because jet fuel fires only get this hot. It's hundreds of degrees below the melting point of steel. So, that means that something else, rather than a fuel fire, actually created the collapse. These are facts. They're scientific facts based in chemistry and in physics. They can't be denied. But everybody celebrates Freedom Day, which is freedom for the government to do whatever the government wants. That's their Freedom Day. It's called Let's Take Away the Rights of the People and call it the Patriot Act. Yeah, that's what's going on. And they renew it every year. Well, we got to keep our country safe. We have to keep it free from terrorists. Oh my God. Y'all stupid. And the people go, yay, freedom. Wake up, because there's a lot about the world that you don't know today. But tomorrow, you might be well informed, and we might be able to stop some of the ridiculousness that's going on in the world. Like killing people in the present that make an impact, maybe for the better in the future. Now, and the targeted individual program, it's a stupid projectionist game. And if you want to be good leaders, government, lead us. Guide us and show us how honesty maintains a strong central government. with integrity. You do know what that is, don't you, government? It means you're honest. Have a great day. Goodbye.